Hey everybody, I just shot a video the other day about how every time I use the medication Pimafix, I lose fish. I always have fish die whenever I use this medication. I'm not going to go back into a big, long, drawn out video about that. I'll add a card to that video if you're interested in watching it. But as I expected, I got a lot of comments about it. And one of the themes and then sort of a sub-theme kept recurring in the comments, and it was a good point, and I think it was a point worth addressing. So I want to do a sort of follow-up video here where I talk about the point that was made, and the point was that the medication in Pimafix is an oil-based medication, and whenever you're using an oil-based medication, the oils will rise to the surface, they'll float on the surface, and then they will create a sort of film or a barrier that prevents the gas exchange from happening, and basically it just chokes out and suffocates your tank because the CO2 is unable to escape and fresh oxygen is unable to get in, and therefore you must use an air stone to break up the surface tension and break up that oil and allow the gas exchange to happen, otherwise your fish will die. So I've thought a lot about that. I've done a little bit of looking into it, and I've got some thoughts on that, and I'm not buying it. I don't believe that to be true. My first thought was, what good is medication if it just floats on the surface of the tank and it's not even in the water, shortly after you pour it in there? Because oil doesn't stay in the tank for long periods of time and eventually float to the surface. I have fish that are dead within 12 hours. So if that's the case, that oil is just floating right to the surface like baby oil would and forming a film across the surface and blocking out the oxygen. So I just don't think that's the case. And what I did was I took the same dose that I put in my 10-gallon tank, which was a half dose, so it was for 5 gallons, and I put it in this cup of water, and I've been letting it sit very still for about the last 2 hours, and there is absolutely no trace that I can see of any film or oily surface. I've tried dipping the very, very tip of my finger in it to see if I can get an oily feel on it or if it smells particularly pungent. It's a very, very fragrant aromatic oil, so a tiny bit of it goes a long way as far as what it smells like, and I'm getting no indication whatsoever that even with half a capful in this tiny little cup of water, I'm just, after hours of sitting still, I'm not getting any kind of film floating on the surface. So I don't really think that that's the issue. And the sort of sub-thread on that is the idea that you need an air stone in there in order for it to break up the surface tension and make sure you've got good vigorous gas exchange. Otherwise, you're going to lose fish or whatever. If that's the case, then the manufacturer should know about that and should put that as part of the instructions when you use it to put an air stone in your tank while you're using this product. ChemiClean and all of those other products that oxidize the off-flux in your tank and oxidize all of the sort of cyanobacteria and stuff, they all make it very clear that you must use an air stone when using that product. And I looked and looked and looked on the label. I read every single word on the label for the directions, the warnings, the cautions. There's not a word on the label of the Pimafix. I'm sorry, it's not Melafix, it is Pimafix. Let me grab the bottle so you can see what I'm looking at. Not a word anywhere on here about using an air stone. So if that is the case, if I'm wrong, and the people that say that it forms a film on the surface and therefore it will kill your fish if you don't use an air stone, then if you use this product as directed, you will kill your fish, because as directed, it doesn't say a word about putting an air stone in your tank. Basically, I used this product as directed. The only thing I didn't do as directed was I used a half dose instead of a full dose. So I don't know if you're going to try to convince me that if I doubled the amount I put in the tank, everything would have been fine. I don't buy that either. I think if I'd put double the amount in, I would have killed the fish twice as fast. So I'm pretty sure that because this is made from bay tree oil or bay leaf oil or something like that, it's probably got a similar chemical compound in it as other aromatic oils, and aromatic oils are used to euthanize fish. I use clove oil to euthanize my fish. So this is tricky, weird stuff. I don't know why some people seem to have really good luck with it and other people don't. I am certainly not some outlying exception to the case. Not only did I get a ton of comments about people who have shared my experience, I got a ton of people that said they looked into it and did research, and apparently there is a lot of people out there that have similar experiences with not only this Pimafix, but the Melafix and all of the different fix products apparently are something that a lot of people advise a lot of caution. So there you go. That's my experience, and nobody can tell me that I haven't had the experience of fish dying every single time I've used this product, and I've used it as directed or less, and it doesn't say a word about putting an air stone in your tank. So there you go. Feel free to leave your comments. I always enjoy reading them. I try to get back to as many people as I can, but I'm starting to get lots and lots of viewers and lots of comments, which is awesome and I appreciate, but I'm a little bit limited on time, and my capacity to respond to everybody is getting a little bit more limited. So if I don't respond back to you and you just see a little thumbs up or a little heart symbol or something like that, just know that I read your comment and took it all in, and there you go. So thanks for watching this one. Please add to the conversation. We all learn from each other, and that's how this hobby works and why it's good for all of us to enjoy these videos. So thanks again for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't forget, this one here is my waterfall tank, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.